and welcome to the first week of the third season of the APL, where the White Force Shaman take on the Dublin Drifblims and coach Liam. Today's question of the day is: what mon on my team are you most excited to see? You can see most of it on screen now. Yeah, you can see it's my team. If you wanted to be reminded, my opponent's team this week consists of Mew, Volcarona, Psydog, Zygarde 10%, Jolteon, Jellicent, Zangoose, Megadiancy, Crobat, Registeel, Chestnut, and the Umbreon. You can see on screen what I expect him to bring. Mew is very scary. I don't know what Mew is going to do. The best I can do is to offensively be able to beat it, defensively checking it hardly possible at all. Volcarona, very scary Cover Dance threat. Zygarde, very scary Dragon Dance threat. Jolteon, just fast full switch mon, does damage, can be like specs, outspeeds my entire team. Jellicent is a fat water type that doesn't really do that well in this matchup. It can deal with Megalith okay, but he is a mon that does that better, Mew, if he decides to bring that bulky. Zangoose is actually a low-key threat that I'm horrified of. Zangoose can actually deal with my team pretty well and outspeeds a lot of it. But I don't think if he's going to bring it, I don't think it will come. But if it does come, it's a huge threat. Then there's Megadiancy. Megadiancy is just extremely powerful. Diamond Storm, Moonblast, Earth Power. I do have some things that can take a hit from it, but it still does a lot of damage. Then Crobat. Crobat is a very fast. It's pretty much Jolteon, but different type and different coverage. It's not that powerful, but with a band it can do a lot of damage. Bird spam, things like that. Nuzlocke's also a very scary threat. Then there's Registeel, just a wall. Registeel, Chestnut, and Umbreon is pretty much just bulk. Chestnut is a bit more offensive than the other two, but they're all just bulk. The team I decided to bring against Liam consists of Member, Big Junior, the Piloswine, Eviolite, Thick Fat. Thick Fat is for the not Volcarona, I guess, but nothing specific. I could go the thing is oblivious, right? Is there a reason to go? I'll go oblivious because I don't want to get taunted. This thing is literally max specially defensive with a bit of speed, so to prevent speed creeping, Stealth Rocks, Ice Shard, Earthquake, and Ice Crash. Ice Shard pretty much OHKOs the Psydog no matter what, unless it's coils. It also can't OHKO me. Icicle Crash and Earthquake does a lot of damage to most teams because it's an insane offensive combination. And this thing is my Megadiancy switch in because it doesn't. There's a very low chance I get 3 killed by Megadiancy, which is very nice. Then I have Hollow Knight, the Mega Gallade with Justified before Mega Evolution, Inner Focus after Mega Evolution. It doesn't really help me Inner Focus, but Justified if I predict the Dark type move. With Sword Stance, Drain Punch, and Headbutt and Extra. Let me pull up a Steam on my phone so I don't have to switch screens all the time. Drain Punch is for the Registeel and Umbreon, very nice to break his defensive core. The Zangoose as well, and General's, well, it's my main stab along with Zen Headbutt. Zen Headbutt is there for the Chestnut, for the Crobat, even though Crobat kinda scares me out and I am forced to switch out, and I do expect it to come. I can still hit it on the switch in, I guess. I don't think it's going to switch into me. but it's still there for the chestnut and for things like the Jellicent and the Jolteon. Wait. Then I have Accessor for the Mew. I could have gone with knockoff, but I decided not to go with knockoff because Goldberg Berry Mew is more likely than Tanga Berry Mew, and Accessor still pretty much OHKOs after a Sword Stance, even if it's very physically defensive. I have not enough speed. I speed max speed Mew and Volcarona. That speed there. I didn't bother speed tying the Mega DNC because I'd rather just switch out into my Swine instead, and max attack and a bit of the rest in HP, as you can see. Then I have Greninja. Tauren Greninja, no protein because that is banned. With the Choice Scarf, Rock Slide, pretty much guaranteed OHKOs the Volcarona with this investment. U-turn for momentum does good damage to things that are weak to it, and not things like Jolteon that aren't too bulky. Ice Beam OHKOs the Zygarde. Ice Beam does a lot of damage to the Chestnut, to the Crobat. This thing is probably going to be my lead. If he leads something that's naturally faster than Greninja, I will probably just hard switch out because I have relatively reliable switch-ins to both of those. In Swine and the Heatran. This thing outspeeds the Zydog if it's at +1 and max speed. This thing is just designed to revenge his setup mons that boost speed. It's just a nice check so to not instantly lose to things like Volcarona or the Zygarde. Then I have Hooters, the Decidueye with the Goba Berry. Wait, no. I know I have a Goba Berry, but I decided to change this Goba Berry to the Occa Berry because I was way more scared of the Volcarona than I am of the Crobat. Because I did realize even if I have Rotom Wash and Heatran and Choice Scarfed Rock Slide, it's still a threat, and it's probably the biggest threat to my entire team. Well, maybe not really because I over prepped for it so much, but it's still incredibly scary. And he may predict the Togekiss to come or something like that. But I have Brave Bird for the Chestnut. This is my Chestnut switch-in. This originally was a Curm. I don't really know why I had a Curm on my team. It didn't really fit in. It didn't really do that well. So I'm happy I changed it to a Decidueye. This is my Chestnut switch-in. It's a Spirit Checker for the Mew, for the Jellicent, to trap things, and then you get a U-turn out and guarantee that my opponent will stay in, or just hard switch out knowing my opponent can't double out. Also Roost to recover some HP. This thing is max attack, bit of defense, a bunch of defense and a bunch of Spadef. I didn't bother outspeeding anything because the fastest thing slower than my Decidueye was like Umbreon at like 65, and I don't expect him to put any speed into Umbreon if he decides to bring that. Then I have Heatran with the Sugar Berry, Flash Cannon, Flamethrower, Toxic and Earth Power. Flash Cannon is there for the TNC, mainly Flamethrower for the Chestnut and Registeel and General Stab alongside with Flash Cannon. And then I also have Toxic and Earth Power. Toxic for the Mew if it's a bulky set that I want to put on a timer. And Earth Power for the things like Jolteon. Looking back at it, do I really want Earth Power? I prefer going with Rock Tomb. I think I had this originally on my Heatran, but I removed it for some reason and put Earth Power on it for no real reason. But now it actually threatens the Volcarona. Last minute changes, best changes. This thing is very specially defensive, but with a bit of physical defense because it's still my Crobat switch-in, and I don't want to take too much damage from that. Well, my next mon in Rotom Wash can also switch into that, and that's Yapapa Berry, or however you say that. to heal back once I get chipped down. I Volt Switch, Hydro Pump, Defog, and Signal Beam. Volt Switch is there just to get momentum and to beat or not beat, but do a lot of damage to Crobat and Jellicent. Hydro Pump is for stab. He does have a water immunity in Jellicent and electric immunity in Jolteon, but Jolteon doesn't want to take Hydro Pumps and Jellicent doesn't want to take Volt Switches. Also, I don't really expect either of them to come. I don't expect either of them to come, and if one of them comes, I definitely don't think both are going to come. This thing is also very specially offensive. This thing can, more than most scenarios, take 2 hits from Mega DNC, get back to Yappa Berry, and take another one, and deal a lot of damage with Hydro Pump. And then I have Signal Beam. Signal Beam, it's to have decent damage on the Mew, and to still be able to hit the chestnut super effectively, because I used to have HP Flying on this, but then I added the CGY and HP Flying was unnecessary, and also hit the Umbreon super effectively if I needed to do more damage to that thing. I'll get into a battle with Liam. I forgot to send the message that he could challenge me whenever he was ready, so this might take a bit. Let's look at it. I'll take a look at this team again because I have nothing to do and I don't want to cut this out. I don't really expect the I expect the Mew because it's a huge threat and it's his best Mega Gallade answer. It's just bulky Mew is very hard to beat just in general. I do have a dark type, I do have a ghost type, I do have ways around it, but it's still a very annoying one to deal with. Then I expect the Mega DNC because I generally don't. Mega DNC is just extremely powerful and it's very hard to beat. Well, it's very hard to find a reliable switch into it, and even then it has good bulk. Crobat is his best Mega Gallade Preventure. Chestnut is just typing wise a good match versus me. Volcarona is set up extremely scary, and the Umbreon is his best Greninja answer. He cancelled the challenge. I think I don't know where he's going to challenge me. Anything? Okay. I'll import the sets because I don't want to calc with Protein Greninja like someone did in the past. I'm not gonna say names, Ben. But okay, here we go. Wow, he brought the Jellicent and the Jolteon, which is something I definitely didn't expect. What didn't he bring? He didn't bring the Crobat, and he didn't bring the Umbreon. So this means my Greninja is extremely free in general. Let's edit this. He decided to bring the Jolteon, and he decided. Oh, he also brought the Psyduck over Volcarona. Oh my lord! I didn't expect him to not bring the Zygarde. Or the Volcarona, I mean. Zygarde. I don't want to. Okay. Shiny Zygarde. Not my favorite Zygarde, but I'll deal with it. Or he'll deal with it. And what else? Jellicent is the other one. There we go, I think. I'll stick with my gut leading with the Greninja. If he leads Jolteon, I'll hard switch into the Piloswine. As he doesn't do that, I will just U-turn here. Only Chestnut. If this leads spikes, I can always defog with the Rotom. Shouldn't be the biggest problem in the world. Also, the Greninja sprite isn't loading. Thanks Showdown for not loading the Greninja sprite. No, it's just not going to load ever. I kind of regret being Scarf Greninja now because I don't really need to be Scarf Greninja. Although it's nice to outspeed the Jolteon. U-turn does no damage, he doesn't have Rocky Helmet or something like that. I'll just go into my ZHY as he goes for the lead sheet. I'll just go for the Spirit Check. I'll see what he wants to go into. He doesn't have a Ghost Resist because he didn't bring Umbreon, which is again very nice. If he stays in, I know I can just Brave Bird him next turn or do whatever I want. Just not being gone is very nice. As he goes for the Spiky Shield on my Spirit Shackle, so he's not trapped. I'll just go for Spirit Shackle again. He is back at full though, but I don't really mind. If he goes into the... He doesn't really have the best switching for this. As he decides to stay in, crit Spirit Shackle doesn't really matter. He goes for the Toxic, which kinda sucks. I predict him to go for Spiky Shield as it just roost. As he does go for Spiky Shield, and this turn I will Brave Bird, more than likely killing this Chestnut. He cannot switch out, so... And that is a kill for my Decidueye. I am very low now though, which kinda sucks, but this was here for the Chestnut, and maybe to get some damage off on something else. I could save it for the Jellicent if I want to, but I don't really see the point. Now he also has no Rotom resist anymore, so that's very nice. What if he goes into the Zygarde? I will just Spirit Shackle. If he goes in the Zygarde, I might roost. If he goes into the Diancie, I will probably just fire off a Spirit Shackle because I don't want to deal with that thing, the Diancie. Mew, again, I will just Spirit Shackle the Mew. He didn't set his spikes, which is very nice for me. Jolteon shouldn't be able to kill me unless it goes for the Shadow Ball. As he goes into the end, I cannot let this thing do anything odd. So I'm just going to let sack off my Decidueye as I go into my Heatran. I could go for the risky play, going for Toxic, but should I go for Toxic? I'll play safe for now. He might not think I have a Sucker Berry or something. As he goes into Mew instead, which is honestly nice for me, I will Toxic this thing. As he goes for Earth Power, Sucker Berry doesn't kill me. The damage does tell me I'll calc this damage. Heatran. I need to know what kind of Mew this is. Mew, defensive, Earth Power. Defensive Earth Power doesn't do nearly as much damage as it should. This is maxed special activity. This is an offensive shape of offensive Mew, which is nice for my Gallade, but he still has the Jellicent for that. And I'll go into the Rotom as he goes into Jolteon. I don't really care, I'll just fire off Hydro Pump. Jolteon doesn't particularly scare me all too much. Goes for the toxic on my Rotom. I don't really care. Solid 50% damage on this Jolteon. Volt switch probably into the Jellicent. I'll just go into the Micro Ninja here. And as he goes for the Scald, no burn, which is nice for me, as I just fire off Dark Pulses, getting good damage off on this Jellicent, but this is definitely recoverable damage. I shouldn't have sacked my decision. How do I deal with this Jellicent? Oh, that flinch was so huge. I cannot continue going for Dark Pulse. I think wait. No, my screen. I can't not forget this. Also update the screen because I'm here anyway. Not mine. Well, that's also dead. And I think his Jellicent is about to die because he can't really do anything anymore. But he does decide to save his Jellicent. I just go into buy the swine here. Yeah, that Dazzling Gleam with absolutely nothing, and I don't know why you don't have Moonblast. I will just go for the Earthquake, I think. Yeah, I'll just go for the Earthquake. Do I outspeed Jellicent if there's no speed investment? I don't. I think I might want to double out into the Rotom. I'll double out into Rotom as he goes into Jellicent. I cannot let this thing recover. I have to go for the Volt Switch. He goes into the Jolteon. Predictable play, but if he doubles again into the Jellicent, predicting my Hydro Pump, this is why I didn't want to see Jolteon. Plus, okay, now Jolteon is back to full. This is so bad. No. I have to toxic this thing. I have to toxic this thing. As he toxic me. Wow. I have to toxic this. I don't need this thing necessarily. I'll just go for Flamethrower, as it is my strongest move to hit this Jellicent. Skull doesn't kill me from this point, so I can just whittle it down. Unless he gets a different roll with the Scald. Jolteon is down very low again as he knocks out my Heatran. I don't know how I can win this at this point. I'll just go back to spamming dark balls with my Greninja. I have to wear down this Jellicent, and I also this it's not looking very good. But if this Jellicent dies, it's looking very good for a Spider Swine. She goes back into the Diancie. I have to get rid of this Diancie. But I have to go back into this thing. Storm doesn't kill me. And now it goes back into the Jellicent and I can't do anything because Earthquake doesn't do enough damage. But I kinda have to Earthquake because he gets back too much damage, health, and now I can Ice Shard because that. Okay. Now the Jellicent is dead. Now I have a chance, but this thing is so low. I'll Ice Shard this Diancie as he gets the Diamond Storm boost, but I can just Hydro Pump here. I don't think he can click anything that kills me unless he gets a roll. Like this is just rolls. If I get this roll in my favor, I'm looking very good to win with Gallade. If I don't, I'm not looking that good to win with Gallade. And I do hit the Hydro Pump. I think it's the best to go into the Greninja because he doesn't know that I'm Choice Scarfed yet. And I can just Dark Pulse here. He doesn't have Dark Pulse switch in, Mew. Vacuum Wave is a possibility. As he doesn't go for Vacuum Wave. Goes in Jolteon, but I'm Choice Scarfed, so I outspeed this Jolteon. Which he doesn't know, which is very nice. As I here reveal that I am Choice Scarfed. Layout. Okay, this thing is dead. This thing is dead. This is dead, and these are dead. So now it's very close now. I have to let this thing go and allow it to set up to +1. Now I have to click Drain Punch. It comes down to the Mew. If he doesn't kill me here. This thing is C, right? No, this thing. Wait, this thing C. This thing is C. C Outrage probably kills me here. Side guard 10%. Choice Bandit. Choice Bandit Outrage even kills. If it's C, it wins. If it's not C, yeah, it's C. This was such an awkward matchup. I honestly don't see how I could have won this. Besides preserving the Decidueye, like even if you look at my entire team, I don't deal with Jellicent well. Like, what can deal with Jellicent? Nothing. Nothing can deal with Jellicent. Like a Stolly Togekiss can deal with Jellicent, but started Togekiss dies to Jolteon. I won. It's Mew, Double Dan, Dark Balls, skill Icing doesn't go close, Gallade, even if I lived that was like 63%, there's 81% KO. Yeah, I don't like my team is very hard to deal with Jellicent and Volcarona and the Zygarde and the Mew and um, the Mega DNC. It's just it just overwhelms my team and I can't deal with it very well. I don't see how I could have won that. Honestly, my matchup, based on the matchup, I don't see how I could have won that. Besides making better predictions with the Rotom, I'm happy with how I played, but that Jellicent just destroyed my team. And I had to sack off the like if it go where I sacked off the Spider Swan, I couldn't switch out. Like if I switch out in the Gallade, I lost because I couldn't beat the Mew, or I had to bank on Greninja beating the Mew, and then I couldn't beat. I could wait. Well, if I sack Mega Gallade here, it went for Diamond Storm. If I sacked Mega Gallade here, and then went into a Rotom, killed this, I would have had. And then I go into my Greninja, do the same things, kill this. Killed this. I would have. He sent his team. Did he have the extreme speed on the side? I would have won if I sacked off the Gallade, but I was so set in my head that I needed the Gallade to win, but unfortunate, but the matchup just wasn't good. It just wasn't here. Maybe I don't really like my team. I don't know. I'll see in the upcoming weeks how it goes. But yeah, bye.